Alrighty, so the live stream should be up. I'm just going to wait for people to join the YouTube chat. So this will be fun. Let's see here. I hope you guys can hear me. I don't want to try to use my laptop speakers because then that's just going to be awkward hearing my echo. Yeah, I hope you guys can hear me. Let's pull up the chat box. There is a way. There we go. The sound is good. Thanks, Dante. Cool. Yeah, I haven't used this program since last semester, hence why the file for some reason is still named final review. But this isn't a final review, it's your Unit 1 review. I tried changing the name, it didn't work for me, so I'll fix it later. We'll wait a little bit, give people some time to get logged in, signed in, because it's already like 10 o'clock and I'm tired. I'll give you guys an hour of my undivided attention, help you guys out. No, I don't want to go there. Yeah, it's fine here. So, hopefully, yeah, for some reason it's not showing me who's in participants. It shows me you, Dante. But that's if I click the box there. I still want to see the chat. Oh well. Yeah, we'll give it a little bit of time, Dante. We will wait for your people to log in, but what you'll do is you'll go ahead and type in which question you want me to look at. We'll go through it together. And again, because there's a slight response time that's delayed, obviously I would see your question immediately, but the video won't show that I've seen it for like, I think 5 or 7 seconds. Can't remember. But it's not all bad. And thankfully I upgraded my Wi-Fi internet, so now my streams are a little cleaner. At least I'd hope they are. Alright. Go on you. Oh, I appreciate that. Appreciate that. That makes me feel good. Thank you. Oh man, I forgot that all my old students are still subscribed to this, so they're gonna get the notifications and they're gonna be like, "Hi, Mr. T." But yeah. Oh, Brayden, you're my boy. Yeah, by the way, Brayden made the banner logo. What's up, Drake? Even though I'm pretty sure I'm supposed to have grants, but, you know, whatever. I'll take you, I guess. Alright, so again, like I said, you guys will just type in and say what questions you need help with. I'm not going to go through this entire thing just on my own. You tell me what questions you need. I'll go through them in... Oh, you're on your brother's PC. Okay. I'm just going to go through them in whatever order I see them. I'll try to remember to keep looking back and seeing, okay, which questions did I not answer, etc., etc. So whenever you guys are ready, just tell me what problems to work on. Right now we're looking at review number 2, by the way. We're looking at this one. Number 5. Thanks, Natalie. You're awesome. You're the best. All right. So let's take a look. Number 5. Slight bit of a typo with this beautiful arrow, but we're going to ignore that. You'll notice that we indicate that these two lines are parallel. So since they're parallel, we have a special relationship. Now, if you remember, Natalie, that I like to highlight the transversal, this then shows me that, okay, I'm going to look at what sort of relationship any of my angle pairs may have. And right now I see, oh, I can make a U-turn. Well, when we make a U-turn, that's telling us we have the same side interior angles. So I'm going to want to say that, oh, same side interior angles, they are supplementary. Supplementary means they add up to 180 degrees. So x plus 5 plus 65 equals 180 degrees. Now, believe it or not, you do not need this extra piece of information. You're just solving for x, so you only need to get x by itself. That's not what I meant to do. We're going to combine the like terms. So 65 plus 5 is 70. We're going to take away 70 from both sides. So then x equals 110. And there we go. You don't have to plug that in. The directions didn't say solve for the missing angles, just surprisingly, I think someone told me there were no directions. So in this case, just solve for the missing angles. So hopefully that helped you out, Natalie. Dante, let's take a look at number 11. All right. All right, do 8, 9, 10, 11. Okay. So right here, Dante, we start with the fact that we know, hey, I know these two lines are parallel. So M and N are parallel. I'm looking at these two. Boom. Angle 1 and 3 are congruent. So I'm going to mark those angles over here. Now, right now, my goal is to show that these two lines are parallel. My goal is to get there. That means anything involving J and K together, I cannot use as part of my proof. So let's start by writing our given. M is parallel to N, and angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Now, looking at the picture, because at this point, all I can do is get any new information from the picture. Well, if you see the two yellow lines I've highlighted, I'm going to want to relate angle 3 to something here, because this is my transversal, or I'm going to relate something here. Well, unfortunately, I can't do anything with line K because there's no other angle there. So the only one I can work with is angles 2 and 1. Well, the relationship between angles 2 and 1, because I stated my lines were parallel, I can say that 1 and 2 have a relationship. They are corresponding angles. So that means they're going to be congruent. So then for step 2, we're going to say that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And this is going to be by corresponding angles are congruent. Corresponding angles are congruent. Okay. So now I look at my picture. I can't gain any new information from the picture. But look at your statements. We claim that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. We claim that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So there's another relationship that we can come up with. 1 equals 3, 1 also equals 2. So that means I can set these two equal. I can say angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Now, if you think about the order flow, I'm saying 1 equals 3, 1 equals 2. That's not our transitive property because I'm not going A to B, B to C. So what I'm going to say instead then is that this is our substitution property. Okay, so now if we look at the relationship that I've created here, I am claiming angle 2 equals angle 3. Now look back at your picture and ask yourself, what are angles 2 and 3 representing? Oh, well now for lines J and K, 2 and 3 now represent corresponding angles. Okay, so now these two are congruent. So now the lines have to be parallel because they are corresponding angles. So now J is parallel to K. And so there are two ways of looking at this. You can say the corresponding angle's converse. I can spell that out. I don't want you guys abbreviating anything besides like angles, the simple stuff. Okay? Or for the technical brownie points, okay, you would say if corresponding angles are congruent, then lines are parallel. That's really what the converse is saying. The converse is saying that since I've shown the corresponding angles are congruent, therefore my lines are parallel. Yes. So hopefully that helped you out, Dante. Martha and Ariana, I'm going to take care of 13 angle D. You guys are going to laugh because, well, maybe not. Like, I'll help you guys out. Don't worry. Okay. So we've done all this work. In case you had trouble starting it off, remember that 62 and G are vertical angles, so we know those are congruent. The other thing too to note is that angle F is supplementary to 62. So 180 minus your 62. So that's going to get you 118. Now if you look at angles G and H, they are alternate interior angles. So you should get that H is 62. Since that's 62 degrees, we also know this is 62 degrees. Why, Mr. T? Because of these markings. They tell you they're congruent, therefore they are equal. Therefore we can say they are the same measure. Now that little E is in the corner there where there's a right angle. So that means that that other corner there is also 90 degrees. All right. If you decided, hey, I don't want to do it that way, Mr. T, that's fine. You can do the fact that you have a triangle here. 180 degrees minus the 62 and 28 will get you 90. It'll be the same thing. But looking over at angle A and angle B, you should be able to see, oh, I've got vertical angles, and again, I have supplementary angles. So A is going to be 152. That looks like a 6, my bad. And then B is 28 degrees. Now, if we look at the fact that we have this parallel line, or sorry, that transversal cutting these two parallel lines, then that means we could transfer angle A. Yeah, we can transfer angle A to angle C. So that's 152 degrees. And again, J is vertical, so that's another 152. Yay, math. Awesome, Aiden. Okay, so now at this part, I look at D and I'm saying, what the heck, Mr. T? How do I get the value of angle D? I'm going to show you guys a little something here. You guys see those crossing parallel lines, and I'm going to redo the highlights because I'm going to show y'all something. You should be able to recognize that this angle here is the same angle that's formed here. Now, how do I know this? I know this because this blue line, let me try a different color, this blue line and this blue line intersect with this yellow line and that yellow line. Those sets of lines are parallel to each other, so no matter where I go at those intersections, those corners are the same. Those are the exact angle measures. In other words, they measure the same. So that entire blue arc, this entire thing here, is 152 degrees. But those markings that we have on here and here tell me that those two sides are equal. Well, if they're both equal, then all I have to do is do 152 divided by 2. So then that should give me 76. So then D equals 76 degrees. So hopefully, Martha and Ariana, that was of help to you both. You're welcome, Ariana. Okay, now, Jonathan, you had a question on 13. No, that was review number 4, sorry. So then let's take a look at number 4. All right. So, Jonathan, if we take a look here, we have these two angles being congruent. Good. I'm glad you got it, Josh. Those two angles are congruent because I have alternate interior angles between those parallel lines. Right? That's my Dragon Ball Z, even though that's a backward Z. I have another set of angles here, which are formed by these two being congruent. So then what we can say here right away is we could say x equals 36, 2z equals 40, so therefore z equals 20. Now, if I'm careful here, I can make my life super easy, and I can look at the fact that I have a triangle right up here. All three angles in that triangle need to add up to 180 degrees. They are all supplementary. Now, you might be tempted to write in 2z, which is fine. You know the value of z, but since we know that it's 40, we could just say that that's 40. So I can say 36 plus 40 plus y equals 180 degrees. So now we just solved that. So then 36 plus 40, we have a 76 plus y equals 180. Subtract the 76. Once we do that, we should have y equals 104 degrees. And technically we can just say 104. We're just saying what is the value of y, not what is the measure of angle y. All right. Do you guys have any other questions? It's only 10:12. We got a little more time. Number 7. Okay. Yeah. So we've got a lot of stuff here, Dante. Is there any specific one you want to look at? Letter F. Okay. So on letter F, if we take a look here, we're claiming that 8 and 9 are supplementary. Now the question says use it to determine if lines are parallel. So remember, you only have 3 postulates and theorems that you could use. You can only use corresponding angles, I can spell. You have alternate interior angles. And you also have same side interior. Again, number 8, why does it not finish with transitive? I'll get to that in a bit. Same side interior, remember, is the only one that's supplementary. The other ones are congruent. So whenever you see something that adds up to 180 degrees, then you need to make sure that they are same side interior. So 8 and 9, I look right here. 8 and 9. I'm not claiming they're equal. We're claiming they add up to 180 degrees. Well, whenever I see that, Dante, I always want to ask myself, can I draw a U-turn? If I can draw a U-turn, then the lines that are parallel are the ones that contain the U-turn. So in other words, the ones that I go around on. That means that this line here is your transversal. So the lines that are going to be parallel will be A and B, the 2 lines that go in the same direction. So lines A and B. Okay, Dante? So real quick, I'm going to go ahead and do Natalie's question for number 6, then jump over to Ariana for number 8. So then on number 6, Natalie, do you see that I can draw this 95 degrees right here because they are corresponding angles? Hopefully you can see that. If not, it's fine. You can just ask. But if you remember the letters that I told you, it's kind of like drawing the letter F. I have this line here, that's an F. That makes our letters work. So then I look at the rest of the picture and I say, wait a second, 95 degrees and that angle are vertical. So if you remember, Natalie, vertical angles should be congruent. And congruent, of course, is the fancy word for equals. So then you're just going to solve that equation there. Hopefully that was helpful to you. Ariana, I'm not going to make you tell me what the entire proof is. You're asking why it's not transitive. It all depends on how you wrote your answers. It could be transitive. I think if I do it the way I think you did, it would then become transitive. Okay? And I'm glad you got it, Natalie. Right here, angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Oh, why is the last step? Okay, so never mind. I don't have to do the whole thing. I will if someone needs it, but do you see that you're trying to prove the lines are parallel? Since that is your goal for the proof, you're going to be ending this with one of your 5 different you're going to end it with either one of the 3 converses, or the parallel line transitivity, or the perpendicular lines theorem that we had. So remember that this is same side, I don't know why I did that, same side interior converse, alternate interior angles converse, or corresponding angles converse. I love how I abbreviated one of those but not the other one. So in other words, you're never going to end this proof with the transitive property. You might need the transitive property in the middle, but you're not going to finish the proof. This might be your second or third step. If you look at the picture, you know that for a fact that you could say angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And that's going to be because we have vertical angles. Now if I look at my logic here, the order of this doesn't allow me to say A to B, B to C. It doesn't let me do that. I have to go and replace this in here. Or you could replace this in here. In either case, it's a substitution. So you're not going to say transitive there for step 3. So then on my last step, I'm saying, okay, I know that angles 2 and 3 are congruent. Oh wait, 2 and 3 are corresponding. So now I know that my lines are parallel by the corresponding angles converse. So hopefully that helped you out, Ariana, for number 8. All right, we've taken care of a decent portion of these actually. Not bad. You're welcome. Did any of you need help with letter E? For, I think it's number 3. Take that as a no. Oh, Dante needs help. Okay. So Dante, do you see here that I'm claiming that M and N are parallel? Yes, we can blame technology. What's up, AJ? So what we're going to do here is we're going to go to our picture and we're going to label our angle 2 of 123 degrees. So I'm claiming here 123 degrees. Okay. Now, if I go through the problem, I can fill in this entire chart and then write my answers in. And it should be, I want to say, relatively straightforward because all we need realistically are the parallel line postulates and our vertical angles. So right away I see that angles 2 and 5 are congruent because they're vertical. I also know for a fact that angle 5 and 7 are corresponding. So I know that that's going to be 123 degrees. And again, by that same logic, this is going to be 123 degrees because of our vertical angles. Now that's half of our angles. We've already taken care of half of them. I want to find angles 1, 6, 3, and 8. Well, again, you got to remember that we're forming a bunch of straight lines. So I can say angle 1 plus this angle 5 has to add up to 180 degrees. So I could say angle 1 equals 180 minus the 123. So hopefully you guys are doing that and not waiting for me to just do it. I'll wait for someone to write the answer. And I know that'll take a little bit of time. I don't care. We got plenty of time. All I have to do is sleep. I've already made the answer key. Do, 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 do. do, 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 do. Yeah, so whenever you guys are ready, I'll take that answer, angle 1. 57, winner, winner, chicken dinner, yeah. 57 degrees. So then, Natalie, what we're going to do is we're going to take that 57 here. We're going to also place it here because they're vertical angles. And then what we're going to do is we're then going to move the 57 here and here because they are alternate interior angles. Oh wait, hey look, I have another set of vertical angles. Boom. So whatever you're given, you should be able to find all 8 angles like that. So then we're just going to go through here and say, oh, angle 3 is 57 degrees. Angle 4 is 123 degrees. And then angle 7 is 123 degrees. And then boom, you're done. You're welcome, AJ. All right. Not too much calculations in terms of this. The first mistake was made here. You'll notice that the student did not distribute correctly. So what should have been in there was 4n plus 8. And then you simplified from there. So you are supposed to redo the problem. Let's see here. Just in case you guys forgot, for a triangle, the sum of the interior angles, so in other words, when you add up all 3 angles, 180 degrees. For a quadrilateral, which is 4-sided, that's 360 degrees. Why do we use circles in constructions? Because circles help us preserve distance. Which, speaking of distance, in a circle, it's a set of points that are equidistant. Why did it show the correct answer if she distributed wrong? I don't think it does, Parker. I think what happens is you actually get something completely different. Yeah, you're supposed to get something completely different. Because then 4n and 2n is 6n. And then when you subtract 8, you get 6n equals 30. Oh, I guess you got the right answer. Oh, well, first off, I'm pretty sure if you did 36 divided by 2, I don't think you get 5. So, boo. This kid's just all sorts of weird. Yeah, so again, the problem in here says, what is her first mistake? Her first mistake was she wasn't listening to Mr. T. But seriously, her first mistake was she didn't distribute correctly. Back to this one. Dante, I can do packet number 1 if you want. I'll finish up the vocab section here, and then we'll go from there. AJ, you can donate in my classroom if you want with a good grade. I will not accept money. I will accept your letter grade of an A. Anything less than that, I will not accept it. All right, so a perpendicular bisector has to be perpendicular. And it would bisect. Context clues. I don't know what lies you all are telling, but whatever. Yes, you are going to have a question on the tired. You are going to have a question on your test that is 1 construction, just 1. If you remember the warm-up we did on that half sheet where it was the finding the location of the third cat, that's going to be very similar to what the question will be like. Okay, so make sure you know how to do that. Okay, at this point, Dante, go ahead and ask your question from review number 1. We did most of the setup in class, so hopefully it's just more of a technical question than really an algebra question. But that's okay. I'll answer whatever questions you guys need help with. Number 11. Okay. So now for all of you beautiful critters, we're on test review number 1. Give you like 20 seconds to pull that one up. Number 11. According to Dante, Mr. Inferno. Alright. So right now, Dante, the setup is made to look like we have a total angle with the 2 parts inside. So when you have parts and you have a total, you always want to say that the part plus parts equals the whole. You always want to set that up. So in this case, the part we have on our left side is 4x minus 3 plus the part on the right side, 6x plus 10, equals the whole length of x plus 52. So hopefully with this setup, you should be able to finish it. Combine like terms. And then solve for x. Sure, you can donate a high five. I will give you a virtual high five as a thank you. Boom. There you go. You kids are funny. I don't know what the rules would be for that. Like, I know I'm technically not working at school, but I don't think I'm allowed to accept donations. High fives are great. A's on your test would be great. Obviously, you earned them. I'm not going to give them. Yeah. Hopefully that helped you out, Dante. Key phrase, hopefully. I need you guys to do well on your tests. I need you to work your butts off. Work for me. Better work. Okay. Any other questions? You're welcome, Dante. And Jonathan, it would take Sharon to get A for me. Oh, Shenron. Oh, Shenron. Oh, duh. Yeah, no, you'll be fine. How many questions is the test? I believe, if memory serves me right, it's 18 questions. I think. Don't hold me to that. I'm really tired right now. I just got home like literally half an hour ago. Well, 35 minutes ago. And then I set up the live stream like right away. Super easy on my laptop. And as you guys can see, I got the beautiful clip mic. Is there anything on the study guide that isn't on the test? At this point, you're just getting super technical on asking just in general what's on the test. The test is probably going to take the entire time, Mr. Jake. So, in all honesty, basically everything is going to be on your test. Now, obviously, if I have something like this, I'm not going to give you every single one of these questions, right? It's just going to be too much to do. So obviously I might pick one from each section, because then that's more manageable. Okay? There is some vocab. Burger. There is some vocab. There is a word bank. You do have to know your vocabulary in terms of answering relationships and everything else. Actually, that's Grant, not Drake. Sorry. Yeah. So I'll give you guys like 5 more minutes to come up with additional questions from the packet. If there are no questions within that time, I'm going to go to sleep because I'm tired. And I need sleep, and you guys need to sleep. Oh yeah, that's another thing too, guys. If you want to see get the notifications like when I go live, I'll still send you guys messages on Remind, but if you subscribe and then hit that little bell, then anytime I start a stream, you guys get a notification like, oh, Mr. T is streaming, and then, right, what sleep? Oh my goodness. I don't think I've had, no, that's not true. Over the summer, the first month of summer, I had good sleep. And then I started grad school. And that's when I definitely didn't sleep. Okay, so substitution and transitive. You're welcome, Natalie. I'm glad it helped you. And I hope that I can continue to help you all. So Ehrenberg, let's say I have A equals B, or A goes to B, and B goes to C. If I have this kind of a pattern, it immediately looks like I'm drawing a Dragon Ball Z, so that means I can go straight to C. If I have something like this, like A goes to C, and B goes to C, I know that's not a beautiful arrow at all, then I can't go Dragon Ball, because both A is going to C and B is going to C. I can't do the transitive here. So instead what I'm claiming is that then A goes to B. So then in this case, this would be substitution. Up here, this would be transitive. The only other time that you're going to have substitution when it doesn't involve the same things is, let's say I say A equals B, and I claim that B is supplementary to C. So then in this case, I would replace A in for B. Since I'm replacing that letter, I'm still going to say substitution. It's only transitive if it follows left to right, left to right. A to B, B to C. Therefore, A can go straight to C. Okay? Worst case scenario, Ehrenberg, just write substitution. Worst case. But if you write transitive, I'll give you an extra credit point. But it has to be in the correct time, okay? Try to bring back the other review. 11. I feel like I answered that one. And that's okay. Don't worry about it. 11. Okay, so again, it's the same thing that I was telling Ehrenberg, Natalie. I'm going to erase that. If you see that right here, I'm going 1, 2, 3, 1 to 2, that's not transitive. Transitive would be like 1 to 2, 2 to 3. I don't have merch yet. We'll come up with a way to make merch. And then that way I can raise money to actually feed myself, take care of myself. Anyways, yeah, so Natalie, that's why that's the substitution, wrong one, substitution property and not the transitive property. Transitive, again, is a more very technical form of substitution. But in general, it is a substitution. Yes, it is me. You're also really late because I'm already almost done. How many proofs are there going to be on the test? I don't know, man. Once you figure out the meaning to life, then, you know, that's how many proofs there are. Let's just say 3, maybe 2. I don't remember. Again, I'm so tired, man. Mr. T the goat. Oh my gosh. I am not a goat. Meh. That's a sheep. Okay. On that note, I'm gonna go to sleep. You all better go to sleep. If I put substitution in transitive, is it wrong? No, it is not wrong. Oh my gosh. You guys are so funny. Do me a favor, don't just shout out, okay? Steady, do well on your test, prove to me that my time to you is not being wasted. Okay? Get some sleep, okay? Maybe stay up a little longer, but don't stay up till 2 in the morning, please, because you're not going to do your brains any favors. I know some of you have other homework to study for, but you guys need the sleep, okay? Go to bed. I need to give you guys good grades. That is so true. I need to be in a good mood. So there's always green tea. That puts me in a good mood. Croissants are good too. I'm kidding. Don't actually buy me food. If you guys do, I'm going to be mad at you. I can't deal with you tomorrow. Oh yeah, that's right, because you're not going to be at school. But you have to make up your test for me on Friday, sir. Alright, good night, everyone. I'll see you in the morning or tomorrow. Just at any point. I'll see you tomorrow.